Yes.
Yeah, if you're doing any filming, you need to, this section of the river, up there, you need to go get indemnity.
A Demington?
Indemnity.
Indemnity?
Yes.
What's an indemnity?
If you come up and speak to someone who's a lawyer.
I have to speak to the lawyers?
So in other words, if anyone's injured, if you take it for an injury, you're indemnified against it. Now watch carefully. This, of course, is £1, right? £1 coin, £1 coin. Due to deflation, now it's only worth 10 feet. Of course, every time you do something like that, a transaction, there's a commission. There it is, £1. That's good. Thank you.
All right, we're going to move on our way.
Indemnified against participating in street magic. So you know that can be a hanging offense in this town if you go to the Tower Bridge. All right, well, thanks. We're moving on.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
Thanks.
All right.
So we're heading back up.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. We're done.
What's your tricks under on YouTube?
We are change. We are change. Yes. We are change on YouTube. Check it out. We're going to move on our way. As you can see here in Britain, the so-called land of freedom, you get stopped for filming an interview in a public roadway, which makes no sense at all. Does this always happen here?
Well, this entire area has been bought by the Qatari government.
Oh, okay.
The Qatari government bought the Shard, and they bought most of this land. They bought, and now this huge development over here is now 90% occupied by Chinese. So in China, because they're finding out that there's a huge scandal. They've been rehypothecating metals in warehouses to finance loans, and now the auditors are going into these warehouses and finding them empty. And so this money ends up in real estate here in London. And so they're using rehypothecated, warehouse receipts in China that represent nothing to buy real estate in London. That's why the price of London real estate is skyrocketing to all-time highs, because they're using this funny money from China.
And also in New York City as well, which you see a lot of foreign Chinese investment that has been taking over virtually everything. That's why the so-called real estate market is so-called good, but it's all pretty much an illusion, and it's all pretty much fake.
Well, the bubble popped in 2007, 2008, and the response to that bubble popping was not to reform the banks, but to make it easier for banks to borrow more and to leverage themselves even more. So they were able to reinflate a housing and stock market bubble, and now 60 years into it, we're at the stage where very likely we'll have another huge crash. And this was the complete opposite. I make the if you're in New York, at the Chinese laundry, there's a saying, I don't know if they still use it, no ticky, no shirty.
Yeah.
Okay, in this economy, it's all ticky, no shirty.
Yep.
So they keep selling tickies, they keep selling receipts for something that doesn't exist. The shirts they're not there. The shirts, there are no shirts.
Yep.
They're all been rehypothecated. They're all missing. But it doesn't stop these banks from selling the receipts, selling the tickies. They keep selling the tickies. And in the case of China, they take those tickies, they come to London, they give them pounds for these tickies that are backed up by nothing, and they'll buy with those pounds these real estates. They're 90% owned by Chinese now.
Yep, and it's only a matter of time since everything falls down, just like it did in 2008. And people think it was fixed, but it was just paved over with more fancy, fake illusions. When do you think it's going to collapse?
Well,
it's hard to tell. I know.
Yeah, I mean, having been in the stockbroker myself and being in finance for 30 years, there are a few telltale signs that you look at that indicate that things are on the verge of cracking. One would be the volatility index, or VIX, is trading at all-time lows. That's a very problematic, or telegraphs a certain topping process. The amount of volume on the exchange is drying up. The amount of new highs versus new lows is very, very low. The put-call ratios in the option markets indicate, sell-off, massive sell-off. So all these technical and fundamental indicators are all flashing danger, danger. So I think the time is right. We just need one crisis to hit. It could be in Iraq, it could be a Japanese bank going under, it could be Deutsche Bank for defaulting on their derivatives book. I just need that one little push, that one snowflake on the side of the mountain to get the avalanche going.
And it could happen at any time,
yep.
Whether 5 years, 10 years down the line. That's why it's always good to think of alternatives. Sorry, Max, I didn't want to hassle the security guard too much because I know you work around here and didn't want to give you too much of a bad reputation. But thank you for that wonderful talk. And we shall see what will happen in the economy coming up.
All right, super.